Hi guys and welcome to part 2 of What If Sir Alex Ferguson came out of retirement to take over the Scotland job. Of course now the Scotland manager's position has been filled by Alex McLeish, so we'll see how he gets on in real life. But we're obviously going to continue looking at Ferguson and how he was going to get on. We were going to give him till 2024 to see how many competitions he could qualify for and see how deep he could go in said competitions. We've already looked at the period up until 2021. That's in part 1 of this video, so I'll leave a link in the description to that video if you want to check out how he got on previous to this. But now we're going to take a look at his UEFA World Cup qualifiers here. So he had Faroe Islands, Slovakia, Finland and Italy in the group. Sounds relatively comfortable, so we'll see how he gets on. Of course you can see already he beat the Faroe Islands 4-0 at Hampden. Leigh Griffiths, Matt Phillips, Matt Ritchie and Stuart Armstrong. Then went away to Slovakia, got a comfortable, or credible I should say, 0-0. Slovakia then came to Hampden though and sadly repeated the feat 0-0 over here. So it's just a push, didn't manage to get anything out of that. You would think after the 0-0 over in Slovakia, you'd like to think you could have beat them at Hampden and went 3 points clear of them, but obviously couldn't do that. Then they went to Italy, lost 4-0, Moise Keane getting 2, Lorenzo Insigne with 1 and Federico Chiesa with the other, so less said about that the better over in Torino. Then Finland came to Parkhead, came to Hampden Park. Matt Phillips, Stuart Armstrong and Callum Smith among the goals. Teemu Pukki scoring for Finland, but a 3-1 Scotland win. Then there was a friendly against Iceland, which was a 2-1 win. Callum Smith and Callum McGregor scoring. And then a goal back by Jonas Bjorgvin tested. That's good enough. Then they went to the Faroe Islands, a 6-0 away win. David Baker with a double, Andrew Robertson with a double, Callum Smith and Lewis Morgan each in on the act. David Baker is a regen who plays for Liverpool, is worth 55 grand and is an absolute beast of a winger. So Scotland have lucked out and getting a player like that. Andrew Robertson, of course, still at Liverpool, 29 million. He's worth now 30 years old, has 84 Scotland caps, an absolute boss. Played 118 games for Liverpool as well, so clearly another great player for him to have at his disposal. So they won that game 6-0. Then Italy came to Hampden, and sadly, Italy managed to smash us at Hampden. Felice D'Amico scoring for Italy. Felice D'Amico, that's really hard to say. Alberto Grassi and Moise Keane as well, so 3-0 loss to them. Then Finland away, it was a 2-0 win. Callum Smith and John McGinn with the goals. If we look at this group, we need to go back now up to this qualifying campaign. Where are they? There you go. Italy qualifying, Scotland in second place, losing out, only with 14 points, weren't one of the top second place teams, so failed to qualify. So Alex Ferguson unable to qualify for that World Cup, sadly. So we move on to the next year's fixtures. Had some friendlies. 2-2 away against Estonia. Chris Cadden and David Baker among the goals. Chris Cadden, still only 27 years of age actually at this point. Still playing for Motherwell actually. Worth 6.25 million, but having made over 300 Motherwell appearances and getting 16 Scotland caps. So he's had a pretty good career, but he's not exactly magnificent. Then it was a 2-0 friendly win away at Moldova. Callum Smith at the double. Then away against the Czech Republic, John McGinn with the only goal and a 1-0 win. So it's going well so far for Fergie in 2022. Then away at Wales, a 1-1. David Baker and Jared Bowen with the goals. Then it turns a bit sour. Germany come and beat us 2-1. David Baker scores for us, but Kai Havertz and Thomas Müller scoring for Germany. The Czech Republic then come and avenge their 1-0 loss in the first game with Patrick Schick getting a hat-trick to cancel out Andrew Robertson and Dean Martin's goals. We have a player called Dean Martin, that is amazing. Let's see him. 24 Scotland caps and 8 goals, worth 15.5 million, playing for Everton as a striker, looks an absolute beast. Look at that pace. 18 acceleration, 16 pace, 17 finishing. Incredible looking player actually. 60 appearances for Everton, only 17 goals though. But obviously a very good player. That was a Czech Republic. Then they went away to Germany. John McGinn scored, but Kai Havertz and a brace from Timo Werner manages to sink us. So not a great performance there. 3 losses and 1 win. Tough fixtures, I suppose, against Germany and the Czech Republic. Then we play Japan in a friendly at Hampden Park. Dean Martin and Stuart Armstrong with the goals for Scotland, with Yuya Osako scoring for Japan. So that concludes the 2022 fixtures. We then go into 2023, where we have some Euro qualifiers. First of all, a friendly, Brian Sharp and Callum Patterson scoring. Brian Sharp, of course, you can see here, playing for Partick. He's far too good to play for Partick. How he's got 149 appearances and 45 goals for Partick with it being snapped up by somebody, I don't know. But there you go, looks it's a hell of a player there. Brian Sharp, 15 caps but only 1 goal, which obviously came in this friendly against Latvia. Then we go into the Euro qualifiers against Poland, Macedonia, France and Cyprus. Starting away at Poland with a 1-1 draw. A late goal from John McGinn, cancelling out Martin Kobylanski's opener, which is a good point away at Poland. Then against Macedonia at home, Dean Martin and Liam Lindsay scoring in a 2-0 victory. We then go away 3 days later to Macedonia and get a 2-1. Dean Martin and Andrew Robertson scoring the goals there. Then against France at home, it's a 3-3 thriller. Andrew Robertson at the brace and David Baker getting the other goal. Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele and Raphael Varane scoring for France. Then away at Cyprus, it's a disappointing 0-0 draw, but considering Dean Martin was off in the 16th minute, it is a pretty credible point. Then it was a friendly against Austria, standard 0-0. Then 1-1 at home to Poland, which is okay, but considering we get the 1-1 over there, you'd like to think we would have beat them at Hampden. Not to be, sadly. David Baker scores the opener, but Caro Linetti unfortunately equalising for Poland for the 1-1. Then over in France, a 3-1 victory for France. Paul Pogba, N'Golo Kante and Antoine Griezmann strike after David Baker actually got us off to the 1-0 lead. Then it was at home to Cyprus. Scott Wright, Dean Martin and Tom Carey getting the goals to cancel out Cyprus's opener from Adrian Sardinero. So that was a nice 3-0 win. 3-1 win. And what that gave us, if we find ourselves here, where are we? That gave us third place with 13 points, just in behind Poland there. But if we actually go forward to 2024's fixtures now, that got us into these qualifying playoff things. I'm still not entirely sure how that system works. But there you go, Alex Ferguson managing to get us through that. Bosnia and Herzegovina in the first semi-final at Hampden. We won that in the semi-final, we won that 5-2. A brace from Dean Martin, one from Ryan Stewart, one from Stuart Armstrong and one from Joe Walker. Ryan Stewart playing for Hearts there. Looks a fairly competent player but not magnificent. He has 11 caps and 4 goals in a Scotland shirt. Where did that go to there? And then Joe Walker with the late goal there. An 18-year-old playing for Celtic. Looks like he's going to be the next big thing there. Worth £11 million at only 18 years of age. 6 caps and 2 goals for Scotland. 36 Celtic appearances with 9 goals. So he looks like he's going to be a wonder kid. And he got one of the goals there against Bosnia, who actually got 2 men sent off in that game. Then we played Slovenia away in the playoff final. It was a 2-1 victory. Joe Walker and Chris Cadden with the goals after Zan Chelar got Slovenia off to a flyer. So once again, through this weird playoff qualification system, Scotland managed to qualify for the Euros under Alex Ferguson. To warm up, we had a couple of friendlies. We lose 3-0 away at Belgium, Divock Origi getting 2 injury, Tielemans with the other. We then beat Kazakhstan by the same scoreline. Callum Smith, Dean Martin and Ryan Fraser all striking early. And then it's off to the Euros in Germany. 3-1 victory over Sweden to start the group stage, which is very good. David Baker, Ryan Stewart and Alan Campbell among the goals. Alan Campbell, 26-year-old real player, not a regen of course. A midfielder there, is playing for Ipswich. That's his only goal in 17 Scotland caps. It got us the 3-1 victory over Sweden. We then play Holland and beat them 1-0 through a Ryan Stewart goal. We then play Italy and lose 2-1. Moise Keane and Pietro Pellegrini scoring for them. Ryan Stewart getting the goal for us. But that is enough to get us through the group. That's great. 2 wins, beating Sweden and Holland in the group stage. Pretty good. We then play Portugal in the second round. Grant Hanley and David Baker striking, as does Renato Sanchez. He got a brace, which made it 2-2. But on penalties, Scotland progress into the quarter-final, where sadly a Grant Hanley on goal and a Carol Morgan penalty puts us out at the hands of the Welsh. So there we go. That's what happens if Sir Alex Ferguson was to take over as Scotland manager. He played, did very well. Qualified us for 2 Euros. Was it 2 Euros or 1? Let's have a little look back. Let's see. That's World Cup qualifiers. Got into the World Cup, of course. Got bashed off Argentina. There's more Euro qualifiers. Did get into the yeah, so got us into 2 Euros and a World Cup. You certainly cannot argue with that success rate. Got us through the group stage of the World Cup, got us through the group stage at one of the European Championships, and all the way into the quarter-final. So there you go, you can't argue with that. What he did, basically, he brought through a lot of young players as well, as playing some of the old guard like Lee Griffiths and Stuart Armstrong. But he went with youth, brought through a lot of players who obviously aren't getting game time at the moment for Scotland. Obviously, he's had like 6 more years to do that and develop young players, but that's the route that he chose to go. It's clearly worked well for us, bringing through a lot of good youngsters, and getting some good results there. Obviously, it's still not at the level where they're going to compete for a championship or anything, but the future does look bright with some of those regens. But this is where Alex Ferguson is going to leave us. He is 82 years old now in the game, so I think it's only fair that he can step down now. We could keep this going forever, of course, and find out if he eventually wins the World Cup, but I just think giving him 6 years takes him up to 82 years of age. It'd be a hell of an ask for him to do it for that period of time anyway, but I just wanted to see what he would do given a couple of qualifying campaigns and a couple of tournaments. But that's it, just a wee bit of fun. Hope you guys have enjoyed this little experiment here. It's just a wee bit of fun, as I say, to see how Alex Ferguson would do if he came out of retirement to be the Scotland manager. Of course, not going to happen now. Alex McLeish is in place in real life. But I just thought it was a little bit of fun. I think it was. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, drop down below and leave a like on the video. And obviously, to follow the channel, you can subscribe, which I'd be really grateful for. But more or less, just thank you for watching, and I will see you in the future.